Welcome in to another episode of the Stat Line presented by Fanatic Sports Network. I'm your host, Jeff the Stat Guy. Oh, Heartbreak City last week at home against Bama. Y'all know we got to dive into that. And then we're going to break down going to Oxford this weekend. And y'all already know I'm not alone. I brought a special guest with some fire this week. We getting into it once we back. Spin it.
And he's not had a pass. Look at this, fourth down. He's not had a snap. Here comes that pressure. Walks it up, looking for Kelly. Touchdown! Can you believe it?
Welcome back. What up, YouTube world, Fanatic family, sports fans, Gamecock Nation? We in here. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and introduce him, my special guest. He was a member of the 1999 Gamecocks, team captain, linebacker, led the team in tackles. Look, it ain't just my words. He's considered by most to be a top 15 linebacker all time at the University of South Carolina, the one and only Mr. Corey Atkins.
Hey,
Corey, what's going on, my man? Hey,
not much.
Appreciate you jumping on with us tonight.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I guess let's just get right into it. Let's rip this Band-Aid off. What was your initial thoughts after Alabama scored and hit the 2-point conversion to tie the game with 2 and some change left last week?
You know, I really thought we had an opportunity to move the ball and take it down the field and kick that field goal. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't make the plays that we needed to make, and you know, it's unfortunate when you play a team like Alabama. You got to play the whole 60 minutes. There's nothing that's going to happen. They're not going to give you anything. You got to take it from them, and we had the opportunity there, and we just didn't take advantage of it. So kudos to them, and hopefully, you know, we took some things, because I tell you now, I will say, I did see some changes in that old line. That they were moving some bodies during that game. You know, you know, just being a former player, you know, we watch other things than just where the ball is at. You know, we watch how the linemen are moving other linemen around, and I will say that offensive line was moving some men, and so you know that is encouraging, and I think it's something to build on for the upcoming game, because they're gonna have to. I think, you know, our best way to do anything with Ole Miss is to keep the ball away from them and try to run that ball, run that clock.
For sure. And for me, the biggest thing I took away from the Bama game was, for the first time all year, the defense kind of reminded me of last year's defense. It felt at times that we had 12 and 13 guys on the field because they were just everywhere. It wasn't just one guy out there making a tackle in open field. It was gang tackling all over the field. Gave up a couple big ones, but for the most part, the defense played solid. Now, I know we all like to play armchair coach and armchair quarterback. What were your thoughts on giving up the touchdown on the fake play out of the Wildcat? Did you agree with it? Would you have done the same? Do you force them into the field goal?
You know, God, it's tough, but you know, as a defense guy, you know, in my heart, to my core, you know, you got to earn it every time. And I didn't like the play. Yes, do I understand it? Yeah, I understand it, but for a defensive guy in their core, we are bred not to give up points.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just let the game go on and see what happens. You don't know what's going to happen. I look back at the Florida game a few years down in Florida where we blocked the field goal. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. They may have fumbled or they may have did something, but you can't just lay down. You can't lay down. That's just Corey. I'm
Right.
just not gonna lay down.
And I think to me, the part that bothered me is how many college football games have we seen funky endings to over the last year and a half, 2 years? I mean, you think back to Miami not taking a knee and running the ball, the dude gets ripped.
Exactly.
I mean, people fumble, there's bad snaps. So to just I would understand it if we were hanging 50 on everybody's head. But I don't, the offense, while the offense played better this week or last week, they still haven't shown me that I trust wanting them to try to win the football game for me. Right. I still think the defense is the better of the two units. And you come up, you make the tackle, and you see where the chips may fall. Maybe you get a pick, maybe they miss the field goal, whatever. But once you give them the 7, it's like, okay, well, now is Mike Shula going to start calling an offense because he hasn't done it yet this year. So I definitely don't trust Shula to be the one trying to bring us back to tie this game. Just didn't like for us and who we are. I didn't like it, but I agree with you. I'm very defensive minded. I'm totally cool running the ball 70 times a game and not giving nothing up and winning 3-0 on a field goal. I'm old school. I'm old school football. Give it to me. So I didn't agree with the call. I understand where it came from, but I was definitely interested. You being a defensive guy, I was like, I wonder if he was thinking the same thing. Like, man, you don't let people score.
No.
But look, man, so do you think I'm not a fan of moral victories? Do you take that as a moral victory, or as a former player, do you moral victory, you throw that out the window, you don't care about it?
I don't care about more victories. I think with each game, there's always an opportunity to get better, and there's things that they did well that they can build on, and so we're still searching for that complete game, and so we had opportunities to win that game and to put that game away. We didn't take advantage of it. So how do we build on not making those mistakes and build on having a better performance on both sides of the ball, all three sides, so I want that more victories, no, those are for moms, the coddle the sons, but no, you're not getting a more victory from me or any other former player. We're looking at ways, how we going to improve, what you're going to build on. So yes, I think the game they after you watch the film and watching and study it, they're gonna be able to take a lot of good things away from it, and hopefully they applying it this week and get ready for Saturday.
Oh man, let's just jump into it. So Saturday night, we going down to the Grove to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Lane Train and his Mississippi Rebels. What's just your initial overall thoughts about this game?
It's gonna be a challenge. I think if we go down there, I feel if we go down there and play, not like we played with Alabama, but if we are as physical as we was Saturday, we got a fighting chance. Because personally, I think Ole Miss hasn't showed me that type to be able to really just knock out and drag out for 60 minutes. That's not their style. That's not their game. They want to pass it around. They want to do all of that. We got to stay focused. Ole Miss was notorious of redshirting beauty Miss America. So I know driving through that campus, they're gonna be out there. You gotta stay focused because it's some beautiful sights down in Ole Miss.
Especially down on the man. I've never been. It's on my bucket list, but I don't think anything beats tailgating at the Grove,
Yeah.
just for the sights and sounds. Oh, so I guess we'll kick it off. We'll look at that South Carolina offense going up against the Ole Miss defense. What was there anything from that Bama game? Do you feel like we took some steps forward outside of just the offensive line and what they did? I mean, overall, did our offense get better?
I think that was the biggest point, the biggest takeaway is the O line, because it's been such a struggle for us all season, and so to have them go out and perform better, I think that was huge. I would love to see Lenore's get a little more confidence, and remember who he is. He's a 6'3", 250-pound quarterback with moves. Trust me, I went up against Dante Culpepper. He's not a Lenoris, but he was big just like him. And tackling him is tough. And this guy has moves. So I think he's gonna set the tone. We're gonna go as he go, point blank.
Right.
And it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall on him to make sure that we start fast. We cannot have mistakes. He got to protect the ball.
For sure.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing for me is if he plays well, we definitely got a fighting chance. But
Right.
that's a big if.
So I'm interested to see. I while I've been calling for his head for a couple weeks now, I did feel like Mike Shula called a better game last week.
Did he really call that game?
Hey, hey, look, I don't know. So because I can't say he didn't, I got to give him his big ups. I got to give him his. Now I didn't like the final drive that led to the fumble that led to the game being over, but I got to give him his ups. Our guy Coach I jumping in. Ole Miss defense has been giving up points this season. They have, and so that's the thing is, can we go out and score with these guys and kind of make it competitive? And the big thing with that is Lenoir's taking care of the ball. The picks are down this year, but he obviously has still been having trouble fumbling. I don't really know what that's about, and I think it's just because it takes so many guys to bring him down. It's just all them extra hands swiping.
Yeah.
It's not one, it's 2 or 3 punches. Something to look at this weekend. His little brother that they call Pup Sellers has already been ruled out for the game Saturday. He has been his most targeted wide receiver since he hit the field 2 weeks ago. So I'm very interested to see where those balls go, whether it's somebody else in the slide, if they take other shots outside, what they try to do with that, because since he stepped on the field, it felt like he was the only one out there for Illinois to throw to because he was staring him down the tunnel.
Well, yeah, I think that's definitely a segment in his game that he definitely needs to improve on is being able to read and not get so focused on one particular receiver. It's been numerous times where he overlooked an open receiver to go to a more risky pass. So I think it's one thing that I would love to see his progression and the rest of the year is being able to see the field, see the entire field, and make the right read. I think that's something and that's coaching. I think that's coaching. That's coaching and developing, and I think that's something that Shula needs to work with him. Hey, this field is open, and trust your eyes. Now this is a defense guy,
Right.
so take it for what it's worth. But trust your eyes, man.
And to that point, you look at more passes hopefully for MJ Bennett. Look, and that's what I was about to touch on is so your leading receiver returning this year was number 3, Mazio Bennett Jr., 8'6" guy like us in the slot, and it's like in the OU game, He's running the little short dig. You got him wide open coming across the middle. You lead him, and it's probably a 20, 25-yard gain. And instead, he throws a 9-yard little out route to the tight end with 2 guys on him. And so those are the plays that I'm like, those are the head scratchers. Like, you following your eyes, you had to look over the open guy to then force the ball. What are we doing here?
I'm surprised at the lack of involvement Maceo has had this year. He was a vital part last year, so I'm very surprised at that. And yes, he's from Greenville, so it's kind of I have an added interest. I went to school with his mom and know his dad, so definitely pulling for him and was trying to help steer him to come down there. So uh, I pull for him and I hope that he'll be utilized this second half of the season. I think he's a vital part, somebody with experience and has done it. So I'm looking forward to hopefully he having a big game this Saturday.
Right. The only other thing that I've been waiting to see from this offense, and maybe with the improvement last week from the offensive line, if we get a little bit more out of them, we could see it. You have Nick Harbor, and I feel like the one advantage he gives you is just straight line speed. Why we don't take at least one chance a game is beyond. Like, I would probably do it once a half minimum, if not more. And if I hit on it, I'm probably going back to it. We hit him last week at Bama early, and then we didn't go back. And I was like, run that again. Like, try to catch him in that again. But I feel like that's the one area of his game that we don't take advantage of. We run him across the middle, and he ain't gonna make anybody miss. That's just not his game. He don't have hips. He's not twitchy. He just needs to put his head down and run 70 yards and see if the ball's down there when he gets down there.
Yeah, we definitely got it. We definitely need to use him in that track speed, because that's one thing you can't coach, and he has that. That's I've been told that many times. You can't coach speed,
Nah,
and
not in one speed anyway.
right, and then that young fellow, he is fast.
Oh, so switch it. We'll switch over. We'll go to your bread and butter. What are you looking for out of this South Carolina defense going up against Lane's offense? We know Lane can call a game. He's going to have something up his sleeve for Clayton White in this defense. What are you expecting to see out of him?
I really want them to fly around. Hopefully, you look at these offenses and you get an idea what they want to do. They will do all this, flashy stuff, but at the core, their tendencies, what they're gonna do. And so hopefully, we're prepared to just keep it basic so those guys can just fly around and make plays. But if we can get some pressure on the quarterback, of course, and then this is the typical, get the pressure on the quarterback when it's time, stop the run, and it's going to take care of itself. But the main thing is, I hope that it is it's a basic game plan, so they don't have to think a lot, just react and go fly around and make plays.
Right, and Shawty getting in the comments, man, I ain't mad at that. I would love to throw it to him deep once a series. I'm all for that. Talking about Nick Harbor, and you're right. You can scheme off of it, and then +2, you're just testing the defense and making them respect it, that it's out there. Hey, this is something we're gonna do. But yeah, you're right. And like I mentioned earlier, it felt last week was the first time all year that our defense was flying around the field. That it kind of felt like we had extra bodies out there because they were just all over the place. The one weakness in Clayton White's 4-2-5 has been stopping the run. Obviously, last year with the 3 defensive tackles that went on to the NFL, we were better at that. But this year, those run stopping woes have come back to get us again. So that's going to be a big concern because while it's not a signature part of who Ole Miss is, Lane also knows how to beat defenses. And if he needs to just line up and run the ball all game, I
He'll do
think
it.
he'll do it because Lane likes to win.
Yeah.
And he don't really care what it looks like. So that's my one concern. But our secondary is a little bit more healthier, which is nice. Promise you Nick would have a cushion. Yeah, I mean, you ain't wrong, Shorty. That's just what it's been this year. For still talking about Nick Harbor. But the one part of our defense that I absolutely can't stand, and I think it's just a personality trait, is I hate the 10-yard cushion. Like it's 3rd and 2, and we 10, 15 yard. Man, get up and put your hands on somebody. Like I don't. If you get beat deep, you get beat deep. Let's get physical. Let's have some. Let's have a scramble for the steak in the dog bowl. Like why we
Right.
just get to them. And so again, could just be a personal trait. Like I'm more defensive minded myself. That's just who I am. But I want to get up. Let's get our hands on somebody. Let's make some contact.
Yeah, let's challenge. Let's challenge him and just see what happens.
Right.
So I definitely agree with that, and hopefully, you know, you know, Clayton White makes a heck of a lot more money than me, so hopefully he would know that. And he probably know his guys, better than I do. But as a fan looking back, and as a former player, if we gave 10 yard cushion, hell, I'm dumping,
Mm-hmm.
every play. If you're gonna
I,
give it to me,
yeah.
yeah,
You
I
give me
take
3 or 4 yards.
5 yards.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
first down every series. I ain't.
yeah.
And especially
So
we know Lane likes to get the ball out quick. Like he'll throw those tunnel screens and stuff. I mean, now we going up against somebody with a full head of speed, and we're not the greatest at open field tackling out there in the secondary. We
yeah,
don't have that guy that's like, I mean, DQ Smith had a bad one against Alabama that ended up leading to a touchdown drive. And it's like the guys struggle out there when guys are coming at him. And so that's one thing that does scare me as far as because at this point we're deep enough in the season that what I've seen week in and week out, I don't think we're changing it. I just think that's who we are, and I have to just respect it and just know not to expect it to change. And so playing that 10-yard cushion scares the daylights out of me against Lane Kiffin because I'm like, he gonna pick this apart.
yeah. I'm hoping we have a better scheme against that. Because Lane is one of those coaches. One of those game day coaches who can call a
Mm-hmm.
game. I think and we haven't had one since Spurrier. And
Right,
for me, whether you like Spurrier or didn't, you knew every Saturday that he was gonna have a game plan. Even if we were the inferior team, he is going to put together a game plan, a successful game plan. And
right,
you don't have too many of those coaches in college football right now. I could think of maybe two right off the top of my head is Day over up the Ohio State and Kifflin, Lane Kifflin. So maybe the guy up at Sartesian, um,
exactly. Yeah,
but to have those type of game day coaches, that's a rare commodity to have in today's game. But I like the guy said, we cannot fall behind early. We gotta start fast.
well,
On both sides of the ball. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do something. In special teams. I don't know what, but we're gonna do something on special teams. So I think we got to be opportunists and be able to take advantage of their mistakes and have a little luck on our side. It's nothing wrong with having a little luck on our side, but um, you know, putting good drives together, I agree with that. Keep Ole Miss off the field.
right,
So being able to offensive line being able to run and put together a good, call a not necessarily a conservative game, but a game plan where we can really, take the chunks when we need it, but protect the ball and move the ball.
right. If there's any game that we need to play complementary football, it's definitely this weekend. We
Right.
need to run the ball, kind of sit on the clock. And Shawty, to your comment about getting a fast start, I've been saying for over a month now that anytime South Carolina wins the toss, while it's not the thing that most coaches want to do, we need to take the football.
Take the football.
Our best drive of every game this year is typically the first drive where we have scripted plays. And so regardless, if you win the toss, you want the football. And something I think we could see, especially Lane Kiffin's kind of wild too, and Beamer's done some wild stuff against Ole Miss in his time at South Carolina. It would not surprise me if we elect to kick off and went out there and onside kicked. Now, is giving Ole Miss the ball at the 50 the right thing to do? Probably not. But I wouldn't be shocked if that's what Beamer drew up this week. Hey, we're going to kick them the ball, but we're going to go out and onside kick it and try to steal a possession.
Yeah. We got to be aggressive. Got to be aggressive.
Got it. You have to be the aggressor, especially when you're the underdog. So look, man, we're gonna jump into it. Predictions. South Carolina, Ole Miss, 7:00, ESPN. The latest line, I believe, still was Ole Miss by 12.5. But it's kind of been at that 12.5, 13.5. So basically 2 touchdowns. Give me your score prediction. How you think this game's playing out Saturday night?
I think we're gonna. So I think we're gonna play some complimentary football and be able to take advantage of some big plays. I'm gonna say 28-24. Good guys.
Okay. I like it. I've been going back and forth on this thing all week long. And so here it is. Shawty put in the comments that Lenoris needs to start being a willing runner and he needs to quit thinking about the NFL. I fully agree. And yes. I think this is the week that we see it. I think this game is just going to get absolutely crazy with wild calls, whether it be trick plays, going for it on 4th down, fakes, special teams. This is going to be typical Beamer ball with a bunch of Lane Kiffin madness mixed in. I'm taking South Carolina to win 36-35 on just some nonsense. On just some nonsense.
I like it.
Yeah, why? Because why not? And why not torture myself on a Saturday night watching a game that's going to end 36-35? Sign me up to let that be on my night end. Well, Corey, man, I appreciate you jumping on with me tonight. Let the people out there, let the Gamecock Nation know what you got going on, what you've been up to these days.
Well, man, I tell you, I'm living in Greenville. I'm working here in Greenville and just enjoying life. Got engaged and getting married Saturday. So she's a former Gamecock track runner. So she was on the first national championship team. So I outkicked my punt coverage when I met her.
for sure getting married national champion.
But no, everything's going great. Just up here in well, I ain't gonna say Clemson land because we got a lot of Gamecocks up here. Everybody, we got just as many up here. And so I talked junk to him. I was talking junk to one today. He had on a Clemson shirt, and I talked junk to him. So just harassing Clemson fans.
There you go, man. Hey, the people that aren't from this great state, I know y'all hear about Georgia, Florida this weekend. Y'all hear about Ohio State, Michigan, and some of the other stuff. I will let y'all know the Clemson, South Carolina rivalry is pure hate.
It is.
The fans talk trash all year long. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. You were part, unfortunately, of the 98, 99 teams. Probably some of the darkest times in South Carolina. We went 0-21 stretch. The place was still sold out. The fans didn't give up on y'all, and I really feel like the team didn't quit either. And it was because of the work the 99 team put in that we turned the corner and we got to see the success that Lou Holtz had that then led to Spurrier. So for that, man, I salute you. So for my guy Corey, y'all already know I'm the stat guy. We here every Thursday. Make sure y'all come back at 9 p.m. EST. It's going to be me, Coach I, and KB. Chuck and Buckets is back. We talking women's hoops. We'll see you there.
Oh, okay.
Peace.